Savadi Krab, Dajahao. So, welcome to day number 7 of our social economy experiment to reach our financial freedom. If you like this video, please hit the button like and subscribe the channel. This will help me a lot and will help a lot of us. And please, if you want to comment, feel free to comment. That will be very welcome, and is going to help the channel as well. And if you have different opinion, please reply and we can make a kind of duet like you have in TikTok. So today is another day where we start to continue to enlarge our know-how about the economy, about what are the key factors, what are the system, what are the information that are necessary to our goal. In the meantime, we save 100 a month, 100 euro a month that we dedicate to investment. Don't be in a hurry, don't invest wisely, document before you put your money at risk, because remember, you have not to run for the money, but you have to let the money run for you. This is one of the most important things. Do not buy things that you cannot afford. Do not stay in debt. Do not accumulate debt. And with this way, you will be able to grow and to be and we can be rich easier and faster. There are many ways to get our goal, financial freedom for us, and just to help also the environment where we live. If we simply invest in a wise way with a responsible approach for ourselves, for our neighbor, for our planet, for our society, especially during the COVID time. So without any other stop, just start to the main topic today, that are the key factor of economy and what is the future of the system and politics. It's a bit sensitive point, but we will go through in how can I say, with the help of the book that we are reading, and then with an approach that I try to be as neutral as possible, with all details that we need to understand where to invest, how to invest, in what to invest, and then together we will decide and we will further. Thanks, and please remember, if you like this video, subscribe and hit like. So just following Wikipedia, that in this case is very useful because give us kind of summary of the main elements, the main point that we need to take in account about the economy and politics. The two things, remember, they go together. We cannot talk about economy and finance if we don't talk about politics, and we cannot talk about politics without following the money. The way that we use the money, the way we invest, the way of our society is structured is really linked with the way the money are circulating, with the way the money are employed to generate a good society. So you can see that, for example, there are different approach, but for our goal we have to focus to some key points. We have to understand the importance of international trade, the importance of a strong or stable government. We have to understand if we want to invest in a reality that is more linked to agriculture or more linked to not agriculture. Please keep in mind, for example, that the first Friday of each month in the afternoon European time, there is what you can say is the event of scalpers as an investor, when you see and you bet on the information that we receive from the states about the not agricultural price, not in agricultural unemployment rate and the income, so how much are going to be paid for the single job. And this is very important, because taking care of this, we will understand this is a very good chance where we can put our money to get a quick return, to get it's a bet, but in a way it's a controlled bet, because we will invest simple amount of money, small amount of money, and before investing them, we are in that moment of time, about currency, for example, or about gold, or about commodities, we will be able to, in a way, between quotes, predict how it's going, and we have to be quick. So this is another important, so an important asset. So you have, for that specific day, we have to keep attention and use that day, remember, the first week of each month in the afternoon European time. I will put the link hopefully this Friday or this Thursday in the evening. So the other important elements that we have to focus, because the system during the time took care attention to this point, and the people who studied the theory behind the economy and the politics just based on this element is just production, large scale production, and the reduction of the price for single unit the more unit you produce. Of course, these are models. The other very point that really influenced the history of economy and politics is the definition of the value of a product. And this is a very controversial element, because in the let me say the two centuries ago, so the 1800s and 1900s, there was the idea that the value of a product is related to the amount of work that you need to produce it. Current situation, the world where we live at the moment, just say exactly not the contrary, but something different. Is the amount of time and effort you need to produce the product plus the amount, the effort and the energy you put to increase the value of the perception of the value of the product itself. Because now we are more focused on what? On the individual, not on the groups of individuals. Someone will call it like classes, but I don't like this word. The technology, okay, because the higher technology level, the cheaper the price, but also the better the product is responding to the single need of the customer, so the individual needs, the purchase power of the single customer, because everyone has a balance or should have a balance, so we have to not keep attention not to go in the debt situation. We have to find the balance between what we earn and the purchase power that we have with what we want to buy. So never buy something that we cannot afford. And the other important points in the model that we have to use for economy is just the perception of the value of the good or of the product or the service you work with. So at the moment, and we will see little bit in a few seconds, the perception of the value of the products is more important than the value of the product itself. This is another key point that we will drive us in choosing where invest, how to invest, and in what invest. So a very good system to understand the society where we live is just to look for how the economy is driven. Do we live in a socialist planet economy? Do we live in a market socialism or in a market capitalism, or do we live in dirigism society where we have a common group that is driving us. So to complement this classification, we have to look forward if the importance of international trade. So we have economies that are more closed, so they don't want to let the money flow outside the society itself, and so the international trade is more or reduced or more focused to export. We have to look at the dichotomy, because now we can say that there is kind of dichotomy between economy and finance. When I was studying economy at university, my teacher explained to us that economy and finance are linked. That was true, but is less true today, because the value of the finance is not anymore related with the value of the good that you produce. This is not true for every sector in the economy, but more and more than we move from a real one, from a tangible one, to a digital one, where you don't sell a real product but you sell an idea, you sell a training, you sell a book, you sell a way to associate and to let the people to communicate, the less this is true, because there is nothing that you produce really. Of course, if you are producing car or you're investing in car manufacturers, you have to take in account different elements. But if you just start to pay your car with the digital currencies like the Bitcoin, the Dogecoin, or whatever, then you start to introduce a virtual element on what you are doing, and you are in a way making the financed version of your economical products. All these points we have to take into account, because when we invest, unless we decide to invest in a single day, like we said before, the first Friday of each month, we have to take in account all these elements to drive and control our investment. So just to sum up about what happened this week, we are starting to understand together, based on our budget, what are the key factors that are influencing our world, and by that we know where we can start to invest. I would ask you to reflect and to think about the real value of the money, because the money are the tool that we use to acquire goods or service or products. They have not any longer the value by the money themselves, but they are more and more the perception of the value that we give to them. So once, after the big crisis of the last century, actually in 1929, there was some kind of agreement that for each unit of money you have a unit of commodity or goods or something tangible. And when we lost this connection, we started a cycle that we live in at the moment, where the value of the money is not an intrinsic value, but is more and more a nominal value. So this means it's the value that we give to it. And there is absolutely no way that, unless there is a very huge big crisis, we can go back to link the value of the money to some good that is behind it. Well, now it's time to have our little corner of language, but please think about an important point: where money are generated, where the money are going, what is the value of the money, and what is the value of the good that we give for that money. Because in the current time, the most common approach for all of us, we exchange time for money. So in a way, we have two possibilities to increase our income: or we sell our time for either value, and this we can do using the better knowledge, or we produce something that generates a cash flow not related to our time. And this is the second approach, what many people call passive income, but it's a strange word. We will discuss about it in the future. So without any other stop, just go to our language corner. So thank you for following me to this point, and please leave a comment, please give me feedback, please tell me your history, and we will work together. Thanks a lot. So for today the word is very simple. In Chinese is qian, that means money, and in Thai is name, that means money as well. It's very nice word. The simplified is a little bit more difficult to understand, but in the traditional you have the first component, that means gold or metal. So you understand that once the money was linked with the metal that the money was made themselves. So the value of 1 unit of coin was related to the metal or the element that was there. Of course, in China they started to use the paper like a certificate, and that's so this was done in Europe, in Italy, and that was the first step. So something has a nominal value, so you had a certificate that somewhere in the world there was equivalent of gold or other goods to you, the money you were talking about. Now it's no longer the case, especially with the cryptocurrency, and I will do with a Chinese or friend an episode about cryptocurrency. He's an investor in China, and I will make with him this episode in the future when we will have more tool to understand the society. So thank you all, have a nice evening, sleep well, and remember, to be successful we have to breathe, we have to live, we have to grow together, understanding first the reality where we live. And to understand the reality where we live, we have also to understand how the money are generated, how the economy is working, how the politics is interlocking with the economy, and also what is the mindset of the society. And when we are going to invest, we will invest in a responsible way to benefit ourselves, our society, our neighbor, and of course, remember always, pay your taxes in full. So thank you all. If you liked this video, remember to hit the button and subscribe the channel. See you soon.